Okay, it is 9:18 a.m. Overall, just feeling good. Even though I lost yesterday, I had four trades, and one of them would have worked maybe if I had held that support level. But it was just, there were trades that didn't work out. And I cut losses quickly, and then the ones that were more speculative, the ones at the end of the day. I traded smaller position sizes because I know that's a setup I'm not that good with. I'm still learning, so actually feeling pretty good because of that. Of course, I'm not asking for trades where I have to cut losses quickly, but that's just what happens sometimes. FBCD is just going to be a continued watch to see how long this thing runs. In no way I'm interested in trading it. It's just going to be a watch. GGII, morning pending bounce play, but I don't know if it still has range. I mean, it could try to do a dip, and maybe it will hold 5 cents. I don't know. That's probably more of a dip than it might be able to do today, but yeah, it's just gonna be an idea there. HTZGQ, maybe it has some bad news. I don't know. Maybe it's just some random pre-market trading, but if it doesn't get to that 680 level and do that number 2 setup like FBCD, that's totally fine. LTNC, nothing I really want to trade unless it has a clean, morning panic. NJWL, I don't want to trade this, but I do like where it is on the daily chart. I might move this to the other screen, but it's just going to be a watch there. IFAN, I like this one. It's a little speculative because I don't like the volume. But if you look at a 20-day chart, the levels right here, it's just right there holding it, but I don't like the lack of volume. It's gonna be a watch. It's fine if I miss some of these setups, but ideally not morning panic bounce plays. Alright, it is 9:40 a.m. of all stocks. I wasn't really expecting to buy FBCD, but I was actually first trying to consider a buy with GGII, but price action here looks like trash, and so I didn't trade it. Just had a big candle, red candle, and then it had this. I think I've seen this before, but without these big candles in the way, it just looks random. So the volume didn't look that nice, but hey, we did get a spike from 70 to the 81. There's actually not that much range, even though it has a massive spike. I just don't like how little volume it trades. That was an impressive drop right there. I didn't look at LTNC, didn't like it. HTZGQ, nothing here. IFAN, no, just wanted to see how it trades here. Looks like it's gonna try to fail. I traded FBCD and I sold early, but I don't regret it too much here because this is technically only up 2 big green days. It's not, I know it's like a big run up here, but I consider this to be the second day, so would have liked it if today ran, and then the next day after that I would have considered, but this did a nice drop. I bought, my entry was pretty good, I think, at 23.9 at 9:37, right here at the bottom, right here, and it was just showing a reversal on the level 2. It's hard to tell now on the chart, but if you see the wick action right here, and they're kind of around the same level, that shows that it's trying to hold right here. I bought at 239, and I know it sounds kind of degenerate that I just sold the next minute, almost at 9:39, but I sold here just because of the fact that this thing is not really known to trade with much volume. So I was kind of worried that this thing not trading much volume was gonna be kind of off or maybe sketchy with this setup, so I sold at that price. It was almost a 4% gain. I don't regret it, and it's also a cheap stock, so this thing was kind of big. I sold into it. I like it. It broke past VWAP. This is when I'd be selling right here at 273 had I have still been holding, right? Try to take a sell at 277 there at the bid, but I didn't think this one was really gonna do it because of the fact that it doesn't trade with much volume. So I like it though. It's very impressive, and I like how when it was down here, right, it had plenty of support at 23. So that's kind of like another reason why I considered a buy, because I was also able to see a potential. Of course, it doesn't have to hold, but we had like this double bottom here, that could further signal a potential hold, and then other people seeing the same thing might consider buying too. So that's pretty much what happened here, possibly. People looking at that level. Very nice. I mean, we'll see how high this thing goes. It's now green on the day, which is super impressive. Just a $20 gain right here. Traded. Didn't even trade a large position size again, because I was kind of iffy with the way this thing is. Kind of sketchy, but hey, it's doing this one very nicely. So that's pretty nice in that of itself. GG. Nothing. I guess I'll be looking at FBCD if it puts up a higher low. Maybe towards VWAP, although I'd like it to drop more. I don't know. It's just gonna be a watch. But this was a nice morning penny bounce play. I wasn't expecting that here. The other one I considered was MJWL, but the problem here was that I considered it, but I hesitated, and then I saw, oh wow, Tim actually did buy this. It's just that it was up only 2 days. This is clearly only up 2 days. Now you might say, with FBC, this thing is up more than 2 days. It's up all these days, but in terms of like the big exponential candles, only 2. However, MJWL was definitely only 2 days, so it still did it. 54, it got as high as 60, but apparently executions were hard. I probably would have been selling at 58 because it got past VWAP. Had I have traded it, maybe gone in at that 53 level. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'll just be looking at FBCD. I don't mind if I don't trade it. It's just gonna be a watch. Very impressive that this one did it well, despite how little volume it's traded. I guess it's not that bad, but from my trade when it was at 16, I just did not like the price action. It had bad volume, but this is very clean. Okay, it is 10:04 a.m. Just want to make an update because the watch list has changed a bit. HMBL, AABB, these old pumps, they're starting to do a nice uptrend again. At least so far, so good. It's only up. This one's only up 13%. I would consider a dip towards VWAP, but I don't like the price that it's set. Not as in like where it is in the chart, but I don't like how it's about $1. So. But I might just consider it if it makes a dip towards VWAP and it holds. Perhaps. Probably not, but HTZGQ is just going to be a watch. Nothing here. AABB. Looks like it had a first dip under VWAP. This one didn't hold VWAP. It went under. That one's a bit sketchy. Maybe this one trades with less volume. It's just going to be a watch. GGII. Nothing. FBCD. Here was that morning panic bounce play. It almost doesn't look like it anymore. Putting up some kind of sketchy triangle right here. We'll see if it does a breakout or a breakdown from here. ATIG is just a watch. I mean, second day, first step under VWAP, maybe at 60, but I don't like the lack of volume here. It's just going to be a watch as well. Just a new watch list, really. A lot of things have changed. No setups at the moment. Okay, it is 11:28 a.m. Just want to make an update. HMBL did do that dip towards VWAP, but I didn't like the price action. I don't like the price that it is in general. This one failed. Never traded it. It actually broke the level. Never held it. Never showed some signs of holding. I've seen this price action before when they get very small, and just the way these candles are, it's never a good sign. HTZGQ. Still watching this if it gets to 680. GGII, nothing I want to trade. FBCD, very nice. I mean, it got to 29 from that dip buy, but I mean, hey, I wasn't expecting it to do this well because of the volume. It's not looking that bad anymore. HMBL, nothing I want to trade again. AABB, just nothing here. Just random price action. Maybe it can do morning panic, bounce plays if it can continue an uptrend. It's already technically, if it holds itself together here, up 3 days in a row. I also cleaned up the overall layout. I like it. I wish I could find a way to clean this up and get rid of these things right here on the charts. I don't need this to tell me, I don't need the high and the low. I would like to get rid of that. I actually got rid of it here. This looks so clean. this main bar right here that I don't know how to get rid of. I don't think you can get rid of it. You just have to hide it. And I don't like the way it messes with the charts if you overlap it. I cleaned it. There's nothing, just this thing right here. You know, also clean up the level 2 on the other screen. Everything looks so much cleaner. I don't, just to avoid any potentials of information overload, or maybe just so you know it's not draining, you know, it's draining less, or not draining as much mental, you know, capacity, seeing all these random numbers and things changing in the background that you don't need, just making it much cleaner. I like the way this looks. Would like to get rid of more of these things right here, the high, the low, the open, and the close. Well, I guess the open and close is fine because it's for every candle, but I'd like to get rid of the high and the low. I don't know, it's not that bad. I get rid of the, no, the time isn't even that bad. I don't know, it looks much better. I just cleaned the whole layout a little. It looks, I like it a lot. ATIG had a drop, I think, yeah, and it, you know, again, I wouldn't have really have considered this one. I mean, maybe here, like, first drop under VWAP, right? 60 to 66. It's a 10% move, but, you know, it's a sketchy sub-penny stock. AMC, I was looking at this because it was potentially doing a breakout over 15. It can still do it, but didn't do it back here when I was looking at it. Did it ever get to 15? It didn't. Could still do it. Could still do it, but it's not doing it now. And I think the more holds this 14.5 level, the better. Because that's like right at the top. If it can hold 1450 for a significant period of time, maybe it can try a breakout later in the day. I don't know. It's just going to be a watch. But I am going to start working on other things in the meantime. So I might miss some setups. Who knows? It's just, you know, midday. I don't want to really trade midday. I'm going to work on a few things in the garage. And, you know, I'll be back, I think. Okay, it is 2:22 p.m. and I'm gonna call it off. The only stock that really I could consider a strong buy into a, you know, a buy and then a sell into a strong close would be SBFM. And I don't want to trade this stock because I am just scarred from yesterday. I just don't want to trade it, even though it looks very nice. Let's look at the daily chart. It is known to run for more than 1 day, so maybe I'll consider it. Maybe I'll consider this one, but a little iffy on that type of setup for the moment. I'll add it though to see what happens. I would not consider a buy here, even though it's looking like it's trying to do some kind of a ascending triangle, but or a symmetrical triangle, because this is like a lower high from here, but it could be a setup. I don't know. HTZGQ is not at 680. GGII, nothing. FBCD was a nice morning panic bounce play. This one worked despite how, you see, it shows right here how liquid it is. It was very clean though in the morning, so I'll consider that more. HNBL is uptrending. Ideally it can run for a few days and maybe we can have morning panic bounce plays here. Same with AABB. This one's up a little nicer. It's had multiple days up, so this might be just ready for morning panic bounce play setups. But there is a chance this thing can go exponential. You know, just create a real number 3, right? And this could be the number 2 right now. ATIG, nothing I want to do with this. AMC, you know, maybe if this guy actually breaks 15, I'll consider it. But I think there's too many people selling. Again, SBFM. So I guess I'll keep it going actually. I'll make an update at the end of the day if I traded anything or if I didn't. If I traded something, I'll make an update, but if I don't, I'll just make an update at the end of the day. Just see what these things do. You know, excuse me, SBFM could be like a buy into a strong close. AMC could potentially do something above 15. That's really the most of it. I'm not too interested in the other ones. That's just going to be where it is right now. Okay, it is 5:21 p.m. I'm here to call it off, and I haven't looked at the markets, but it looks like AMC actually did get above 15. That's impressive. Let me just refresh this. It looks like we had the close right here, and that close was well at, you know, well above that 15 level. Looks like we did break it around 226, and it kind of had that bounce here you could have bought into. You know, we didn't really have a bounce back to 15, but it did it. You know, it did hold 15, had a nice run to 16.8. Not much range. I mean, $1 on a $15 stock isn't that much, but that is very impressive. I missed it, but I don't feel bad for that. Now it's just a matter of seeing how high this thing can go. We still have a top at 20-ish, and then maybe here at 17. But I'm going to imagine a lot of people who were short are being squeezed from this. Especially here, look at all the volume that was traded. That's nice. HTZGQ, not at 680. GGII, looks like it downtrended a little. It still has room for morning panic bounce plays, but it needs to trade better for me to be interested. FBCD, I did trade it. It's funny because yesterday I lost like 48, and now today, you know, I made back almost $20, which was half of those losses from yesterday, from one trade here that actually worked, and I didn't even sell as high as I could have. For now, I will be considering, you know, number 5 setups. I will consider perhaps a larger size and holding longer, as this one has shown to do it. So it's like new confidence in it. HMBL looks like it continued the uptrend. That's pretty nice. You know, maybe it can put up more days and potentially be a morning panic bounce play I can trade too. AABB, I like this one more. This one will be nice too. That's great. 2 new stocks that I could potentially watch for morning panic bounce plays. Before it was just HTZGQ, GGII, but now we have those 2, and now we have 3. We have 5 more, so that's 5 total. That's very nice. ATIG just faded. AMC, we saw that. SBFM. Yeah, this one did it. I mean, Tim, even I saw Tim's alert where he bought at some dip, whatever. I just, you know, I had a feeling it could have worked today, but just wanted to take a break from it just because yesterday just did horribly. And who knows, maybe I would have done bad. Maybe I would have bought it here, and then I would have been in trouble here, but I don't know. I mean, it does seem like it's following an overall trend line. If I could try, I'll try. Probably not going to do a good job, but give or take right here, you know, I'll buy towards the trend line. This one's nice. I mean, it held its gains, and it does show that it can spike for more than 1 day in a row. I guess that's why Tim is long this stock too, because it can prove itself that, hey, I can keep uptrending. So that's pretty nice. You know, I guess I missed 2 setups in that I could have done a dip buy here with SBFM, and on top of that I could have done a buy with AMC, but I really don't regret that. Still had a nice trade. Didn't even, you know, sell as well as I could have, but I will be considering now. I'll trade larger, and I'll consider holding it better now that it has proved itself. SBFM is just going to be a watch for a second day. Maybe it can break the day high or do something cool like that. And, you know, HTZGQ hopefully does that 680 break. It's just going to be a watch for now, you know, till the next day to see how everything is going to play into effect. But right now I like it because now we have more morning panic bounce plays. So I'm going to call it off here. Just a good trading day. Sure, I missed those 2 setups, but I still traded 1. And I like how, you know, that I had 4, well, I guess 3, because 1 I made 50 pennies, but out of those 4 losing trades, just 1 trade today that I didn't even do that good in terms of my sell, you know, just took out half of those. So I'm really happy with that, if anything. And yeah, I look forward to tomorrow, Lord willingly, more potential for morning panic bounce play setups.